It is a very big night here at Highland Park High School. Not only are the Scots trying to keep their perfect season intact tonight against Junction City, but a very special court dedication is going out to head coach Ken Darding, who has had an outstanding career here at Highland Park. This is his 13th and final season, and he has led the Scots to 4 state championships, and we are lucky enough to be joined by the man of the hour tonight, Mr. Ken Darding.
I'm Ken Darding. I'm a head basketball coach at Highland Park High School in Topeka, Kansas. It's a tough neighborhood. It's a situation, and I don't mean that all kids are involved, but you can get shot being totally innocent. You can get shot because you live next door to the wrong person, or you pulled up beside the wrong car at a stop sign and some drive-by shooter comes by and shoots. And for a mother to have to worry every time the door closes and their son or daughter goes out the door that they could not return, or that they're going to get approached 10 times that day to buy or to sell drugs. It's tough. And you know, the kids that come out of here make it because they're tough. My philosophy has always been that sports, in this case basketball, is a mini life lesson. When you're teaching basketball, it's just a great opportunity to not only help kids succeed in basketball, but learn the lessons that eventually is going to make you or break you in life. On our practice shirts, you see, we, not me. I want people that want to be a part of the team, truly want to be a part of the team. So we have things like, you gotta cut your hair, you gotta shave your face. So I just want commitment. That's what it was always about, is you tell me, hey coach, I'm not playing for you. If I have to cut my hair, then you gotta go transfer or get into wrestling or whatever, and I understand. I don't think less of you, but you're not gonna be on my basketball team.
You know what Coach Darding means to players, students, to Highland Park can be summed up probably by saying coach, father, social worker, psychologist, and friend. He embodies all those roles into one.
He's proven that you can be tough, demanding, sometimes pretty mean, but also be one of the most compassionate people I know. I think any of his players, or at least 99% of them, will tell you that if they pick up the phone now and call Coach Darding and ask for him for something, he's going to do his best to help them.
When you get him off the court, he'd do anything in the world for just about anyone, and especially his players. Once you're a member of that family, it never goes away. It never goes away.
He sacrificed for the greater good of the kid, and not for himself or the program or the team, but what's best for the kids. And there's very few that's out there like Coach Darding and species that's becoming in steam, because everything that he does and how he sees this basketball game and how he sees these kids.
Since becoming the head coach at Highland Park High School in 2001, Ken Darding, known as Coach D, has established one of the most dominant high school basketball programs in the state of Kansas. Doing so by appearing in 7 state championship games in just 12 seasons and winning 4 state titles, including 3 in a row in the years of 2007, 2008, and 2009. None of which have been more celebrated than Darding's nationally ranked undefeated 2007 state championship team, which was voted one of the top 3 best high school basketball teams in Kansas history. But in spite of all of his success on the court, Darding's biggest achievements are made by keeping his inner city players off the streets. He does this with his uncompromising and demanding style of coaching, which has resulted in 52 of his players earning college scholarships, and all of them learning some of life's toughest lessons.
I think when you start to list the elite teams across the state of Kansas, the Highland Park basketball team is on that list. As far as in the state of Kansas, if you were to rank the top 10 coaches all time in high school, there's no doubt Ken Darding would be among those 10. And I think Ken Darding would maybe get an asterisk by his name because I think he had to overcome some things that maybe some other programs didn't have to.
Well, I've been covering Highland Park basketball for 25 years. When you talk basketball, no matter where I go, whatever sport I'm covering, invariably Highland Park basketball comes up and people want to talk about Highland Park basketball and Coach Darding, because he's not only regarded as a great coach, but he's regarded as a character. So everybody wants to know if all the stories are true and all that. So.
After 19 years overall at Highland Park, 12 spent as coach, Ken Darding has decided to step down after this season.
They can win state championships. They can be overwhelming and dominant, and that can continue with everybody staying on board and staying we, not me. But, I don't know. If something come up, I could coach sometime later. But I won't coach against Highland Park. I'll never hope for anything but success for Highland Park. And so that's all I want, is continued success and somebody who truly, truly cares about the total kid, not the basketball player kid.
Tonight, friends and former players have traveled from all across the country to see the legendary coach honored and the court dedicated in his name.
Hey, baby, I'm so happy you're here.
Definitely. I wouldn't miss
Good. I wouldn't be, it wouldn't be right if you did.
Friday, January 10, 2014 is hereby designated Coach D Day in recognition of his legendary contributions to Highland Park High School, signed by Principal Dr. Burl New. So you got a gym, a court, and your own day.
So, a gym and a court's unbelievable. This is better. Everything here, because of these people sitting up there that's played for me. I sit over here, get glory, get courts named after me. They get, I don't want to say cussed at, yelled at, diving on the floor, bleeding. Parents have to watch their kids be subjected to some pretty tough criticism. I didn't bail them out. It's the best parents, it's the best community, it's the best school, and without question, I'm here because of these athletes. Thank you so much.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Coach Ken Darding.
Thank you so much.
Coach.
God bless you. Coach, I can't even say thank you to you.
Hey, buddy.
I owe you so much.
All right, you got it. All right, you're good. Congratulations, Ken.
I love about high school coaching more than college coach. I watch little whiny boys become men. Let's go get what we came to get, a win. That's nice. I appreciate it. It's a wonderful thing. This is way nicer. This is what I'm about. I get to be with who I want to be with now. So let's go get to work. I think Coach has got over things. Yeah. Let's go have at it. Let's go. Abdul! Moved in the corner! Be aware! I was worried about that game for 2 weeks. Yeah, I know you would. Thanks so much for a great night and a great effort. And we're better. We got better tonight. Good job. Let's get these girls there. Thank you. Thank you. Good. This is a tribute to athletes, assistant coaches, parents, and a community. And once you're in the Scott family, you're there forever. Buster is a young man. He was my very first class here.
When I look at that court, I don't see wins. I don't see, championships. I see that court symbolizes what Coach meant to all of us over here. And he instilled something that was way bigger than winning. It was way bigger than winning. That court to me means every kid that went through hard times, rough times, he helped us get through that. He prepared us for the day-to-day things, day-to-day tasks, how to dress, how to talk, how to walk into an interview and be ready and focus and do your best and always give 110%. So I'm here now representing Coach as a man, somebody that is still striving for success, still fighting through adversity. And because of him, that is why I still go. That's why I'm still fighting. That's why I'm still here.
Thanks again for coming, and enjoy. Get something to eat and enjoy.
The history of Highland Park basketball, you'd have to go back. Highland Park had some of the most superior talent around. And they won a lot of games, but really didn't win any state championships. Then enter Coach Darding.
The program before was good, but not great. The buy-in that Coach demanded from the kids, and if you weren't going to buy in, then you probably weren't going to play for him. And the bar was raised when he started.
Starting from 2002, we had went to state 2002, and we had lost in the first round. Coming from Coach Darding and the next year going into the next season, it was a little different.
The class of 2003, it was a special group, a group that just fought. Physically and mentally fought, would never concede, never give in.
They took on Coach Darding's personality because their will to win was great, and that team really set the foundation for the next few years.
They'll always be special to me, not just that they were a team, but that they happened to be a team that was a foundation for the Highland Park program. They decided they were going to buy in. And again, a group that wasn't expected to do anything great. And as it went, I'm 21-4, I believe, and end up getting beaten double overtime in the state final by a absolutely amazingly talented McPherson team. That's one of my biggest regrets in life, is that group. Nobody I've ever coached deserved a state championship more than that group. And the great thing about sports is not only the thrill of victory, but the agony of defeat.
The locker room after that game, Antoine Harness, him and Buster was our leaders. And that being their senior year, Antoine, he was in and out of trouble. But the way that Coach Darding was, he loves you regardless. And with Antoine being there and the speech that he gave after that game about how this wasn't the end, this is just the beginning of what was to come. He was telling everybody that if it wasn't for Coach Darding, he wouldn't even have been where he was at. So there was heartbreak, but at the same time, it was like we gotta win this for Coach Darding. We gotta turn this program around, and we're gonna put Highland Park. We've had great players, but this is gonna be it. This is gonna be the start of something special. That's how we went into our 2004 season.
He took the basketball program to the highest level ever. And it had nothing to do so much with the W's and L's and the state championships as it was making players better men. Everybody's played for Coach Darding, became a better ball player, and they became a better person because his arm reached far beyond the court into the lives, into the classrooms of the people that were in his program.
I think what Ken Darding was trying to do was, hey, let's play great basketball, but let's be good citizens. And he realized that here's a great avenue for Highland Park High School when they go from town to town and community to community to really represent a really good slice of life in the city of Topeka that maybe people didn't expect. And he was very aware of that.
Highland Park is located on the southeast side of Topeka, Kansas, an area that has a reputation of drug activity and gang violence.
We are the poor side of town. This started out as sort of the suburban school. It was the high class part of town. And over the years, as we've had white flight and whatever, people keep moving. And the people who are here, while they may not be the richest, they are certainly proud.
Like any other inner city high school, Highland Park's hallways are filled with students that come from broken homes.
A lot of them come from divorced families, single parents, minorities, black and Hispanic mainly. They come to us not as prepared as most students in a lot of high schools do. So therefore they've got to rebuild, and they've got to come up a little bit more.
You know, people have a perception about Highland Park. We're just more diverse of a population who has more of an economic barrier rather than the aptitude to do the work. The aptitude is not the barrier, it's economics.
I just see incredible resilience, kids that have a perspective that I don't always have.
Just like her husband, Karen Darding also provides support in many different ways for the high school, serving as mom to the players and psychologist to the student body.
There are things that kids are dealing with that I can't imagine, and I think they are incredibly special to handle some of the things that they handle. The potential is just tremendous because I think the strength that they gain and the insight, and when they come out, they have just such a clear picture of so many things that lots of people don't know anything about.
A lot of people, you know, just see people at Highland Park as being thugs and this, but they don't really know half of what they go through in their home life or half of what they've been through up to that point in high school.
Most of our kids don't have a goal in life. You ask our kids, what do you want to be? I don't know. You know, they're more interested in eating tomorrow, not getting shot at tomorrow, or, you know, so on and so forth.
Can't tell you the number of students, unfortunately, that were killed when they were at Highland Park, and parents could not afford the funerals, and we raised money and contributed monies to help the families. And those are sort of things that are not in any job description, but in schools like Highland Park, you have to be willing to commit to more than that.
I live on the east side of Topeka. It's a neighborhood called Ripley, some apartments. People around here know what it's about. It's not the safest. I've seen like people get murdered out there and drugs, and I've seen it all. It's not, but I usually just stay in the house if I'm not in the gym or with a teammate. It's just best for me to just stay in the house. Originally from Memphis, I moved to Columbia, Missouri, lived in Indiana. I just bounced around. My mom, we don't come from money, so we usually lived in like a 2-bedroom house, and all the boys slept in one room, and my mom and my sister slept in another room, so it was a struggle, but it's just it motivates me. I never knew my dad. I've just heard stories about him, and not good stories. I saw pictures of him and talked to him on the phone a couple times while he was in jail, but that's about it. I really don't know nothing about him except that I have his name.
You get kids that spend a life, a lot of disappointments, you know, a lot of Christmases where they didn't get Christmas presents, a lot of promises that never came true. So when that happens, you start not believing.
It was difficult because I seen people with like their dads and how happy they were and stuff, and I just always wondered how that felt. But moving here, Coach D was like the closest thing to a father that I had. Like if I get sick, or he'd go take me to a doctor, or if I needed anything, he'd be the first one there for me.
You know, Jesse Jackson said, perceive it, believe it, and achieve it. Well, if you can't perceive going to college, if you can't perceive being successful, then it's hard to believe. Or if you don't have anybody in your family that you've watched succeed in college or something, and I come along and say, look, you can graduate from college, you can go to college. You know, they're always polite and, yeah, yes, sir, coaching. But I don't think inside they're thinking, yeah, right, I can't go to college. Nobody in my family ever went to college.
If it wasn't for Highland Park and Coach D, I would probably be in the streets right now selling drugs or being into gangs and fighting all the time or being in jail. I don't see any positive in my life if I haven't met Coach D and the family of Highland Park and the stories that he has told me.
Shafi Carr is one of the team's leading scorers. He grew up with neither his mother nor his father present in his life.
I was taken by my grandmother when I was 3, and I never really knew my father like that. My mother's role, she's in and out of incarceration all the time. She's got a little bit of a drug problem. But I mean, I love her and everything. She just can't handle herself, and she couldn't handle taking care of me and my little sister.
Her path is very straight. It's pretty rough. And Shaf just stayed with me.
Growing up without a dad, it was something, it's hard for a lot of kids, but it wasn't really all that bad for me because my grandmother's a strong woman. She does everything for me. She gets up to go to work at 2 a.m. every morning, except on Saturdays, and she still finds time to take me to the gym. She still finds time to come watch all my games. Just looking for a father figure and everything, I find a lot of that in Coach D. So, I mean, that's why I'm so close to him, and that's why it was so easy to make my decision to come in.
That basketball program is pretty much defining of what Highland Park is about.
Coach Darding's team is coming off a one-loss season from a year ago and a state runner-up finish. In his final season as coach of the Scots, he expects to make another run at the title.
My expectations of this team is the very same of every team. Last year we was 24-1, and the one was in the state final game.
We went 24-1, and then we came up to the championship game. We had to play Shimmy Oshale. He's at Duke right now.
And that state championship game, that atmosphere was ridiculous in the Bicentennial Center. I mean, I want to say there's like 7,000 people, something like that. It can strike some nerves. It was intense.
Me being a junior on that team, it was really heartbreaking for not just Coach D, but for us as players too, and I really don't want to feel like that again. And I'm very confident we'll take the championship this year.
Now we want to set D off right with the new seniors we got this year to get this championship.
Yeah, it's nothing but motivation now that I'm a senior, because I'm not going out like that. We're going to win state.
The Scots have come into this season ranked number 1 in their class and remain undefeated so far. With 4 seniors in the starting lineup, they're led by big man Shafi Carr, who is one of the city's top leading scorers, and Topeka's returning player of the year, shooting guard Jamal McMurray.
My college baseball coach taught me, don't rely on God-given ability. If we're supposed to be good, let's be great. If we're supposed to be great, let's be the greatest to ever live. Never stress wins and losses or state championships. Those are byproducts. I want you to practice as hard as you can every day, become better every day. Every once in a while you do all of the above and you meet a team that's talented and well coached and shooting the heck out of it that night and you just lose. When you do that, that's like the 03 team. Sooner or later the hurt's going to disappear and you're going to be proud of what you did. These people going to be crazy in the stands. They're excited. They're 2-4, but they could be 5-1, 6-0 real easy. But the bottom line, like everybody that plays Highland Park, their season is made on this game. They can be 2-12, but if they win this game, everybody in West Topeka, from the players to the grandparents, has had a good year. So that can't be the idea.
Get there! Ball! Where you at, Danny?
if they kick it and shoot it. We're going to recover, but you don't worry about them. Make them shoot jumpers. Don't give them layups and fouls. All right, let's go. Out of the way. Oh, you can't let him cut. Hey, that like the tape, and we'll probably watch this. There's a lot of lessons, and I think we responded pretty well to all of them. Bill Linhart, who's the referee that talks to you, and he's a great referee, great guy. He'll be the one talking. He said, I want to referee the 5A team that can beat that team. Because you're pretty dang good. We're pretty good, guys. Pretty good. Who are we playing next? Grandview. Only. Grandview. Good job.
The first time I ever found out about Highland Park was probably in '07 when they were playing state in the Expo Center. It was just a great experience. I mean, I've never seen basketball like that, and it really made me want to play at that level.
One thing about it, about the '07 program, they were a special group. And they were the start of the three-peat.
Great bunch of kids that bought in, that believed great is the team that didn't care who got the credit.
They came in here and they worked hours and hours in the gym when they didn't have to be. When they were in middle school, they was in this gym and leading up to everything special what happened in '07.
The '07 team was only the second city team in city history. No other boys team in the city had gone undefeated.
2007 team was just a royal Royce.
Scots ran their record to 11-0 and in the process slammed home another Topeka Invitational Tournament title.
It was really a dominating style of basketball. There were so many athletes on that team that combined themselves together.
They were dominant the whole season, and everybody kept waiting for them to lose, and they just refused to lose.
Those 5 starters and really the incomplete team, the depth of that team was unbelievable.
A team that had the best point guard in the state of Kansas. A kid that was totally uninterested in scoring, totally uninterested in awards or just win. Had 2 wing shooters in Adrian Herrera and Rico Richardson that shot like very few shoot anywhere, anytime. Both of them on a consistent basis had 5 or 6 threes a game. Then you got 2, we call them posts, they were really forwards. We really didn't have a post on that team. But Ty Modupe, a 6'7" kid, great athlete, great leaper, and Kyle Weems, who shoot it outside, dunk it inside, was kind of the poster child for that team because of his personality and his charisma.
Time's a charm, you betcha. Weems, the senior, double-double, 21 points, 10 rebounds.
I'll never forget that year in my life. We had a parade when we won the state. Everywhere we went, it was, like I said, we were like mini movie stars.
It was really a dream team, and with good senior leadership with Lamont and Kyle.
These guys that just came together for the greater good. Had people coming in, people sitting on the stairs and crowded areas, and to be able to watch them play.
Though Lamont Austin, watch this move. Sweet head fake, drives the lane, gets the basket, and one. Scots on top by 10.
When they took the floor before warm-ups, you saw them come on the floor with the confidence level that they had. You kind of got the feeling that nobody's going to beat these guys, nobody's going to come close. And I really got the feeling from looking in the opponents' faces some nights that they felt like they had no chance.
81-44.
Every game was double-digit margins. I think our average margin of victory was 24.5, 27.5, something crazy.
Sports Illustrated actually just came out and said they were the team to beat in the state of Kansas, the #1 ranking. And Park wins 63-29. They become the first city team to go to 20-0 in 24 years.
Highland Park is one of the best high school teams I've ever seen in 27 years. And win or lose, they're still going to be one of the best teams I've seen in 27 years.
I think this team can win any night it goes on the floor. And I think that's our expectations, to win every time we go on the floor. You know, anytime you compare teams, you can argue talent. Oh man, we had Darnell Valentine. Well, I don't consider talent a team. You know, That was a team, and team-wise, I wouldn't have wanted to coach against them.
The fact that they came together as a family and time again facing the challenges that they had to night in and night out.
One of the best high school teams in the history of the Sunflower State claimed not only a 5A state championship, but also capped off a perfect 25-0 season.
And the 2017 will end up being one of the best teams in the state of Kansas has ever had. The fact that they dominated so much and that they had so much talent and so much talent to give and gave Topeka such a great show and the state of Kansas such a great show.
Drills it, and some.
It was considered by the Wichita Eagles one of the 2 greatest teams in Kansas basketball history, and it was. If you coach 30 years, you pray to God that you get one group like that. They played like they had no talent. They listened and were coachable, as coachable as any team I've ever coached or any team I've ever been associated with. I mean, I'm never going to have a team like if I coach another 50 years, it's not going to happen because it's just too well-rounded and too good.
The way we molded, the way our chemistry was, the way anybody would stand up for anybody at any given time, and the way that we competed at practice, whether it was the starters versus the bench players versus the freshmen, whoever it was, we brought the best out in each other.
Family out on 3, 1, 2, 3. Family!
To only have 2 single-digit games the whole year talks to me about the dominance of that team. I think that's what set up then the 08 and 09 teams, because the 08 and 09 teams expected to win. They knew they could win. Probably, particularly the 09 team, may not have been the best team in the state that year, but they found a way to win.
5 seconds left. Cannon drives, leaves it over for Copeland. Shot blocked, and Copeland got it back and scored. Holy cow! Highland Park, 3 state championships in a row.
All of those teams have been we teams, not me teams. Kids that are willing to sacrifice 2, 3, 4, 5 points a game for 3 or 4 more wins a year.
Every year he talks about those 17. It just gets us more, especially mentally, me personally, just hyped for the season if we can do it.
Honestly, with this team here, I think we can go undefeated. Since I was a sophomore, we had a chance to do it, and then last year we really had the chance to do it. And we're just trying to bring the state championships back in for Highland Park, because they were winning, and then when we got in high school, it kind of slowed down.
I grew up going to all the games. Actually, then kids were allowed on the floor, and me being in 4th, 5th grade, all the way up to about 7th grade, we got to go on the floor during the pregame warm up. They do the little circle huddle, and what we do now is just a big tradition, what we do every year, and I actually got in the middle of it. So we knew all the players, grew up, knew Coach D. He knew us since we was elementary school. So, and me playing for this team, it does mean a lot, more than just state championships.
As a ball boy in younger days, I wanted to grow up and be just how the Highland Park teams were when we were ball boys, because basketball was just a passion to me at a young age. And as seeing them play, I wanted to grow up and be just like them.
For the first time in the last week, what I'm saying to you now, I think everybody knows and believes. Some of you still ain't bought in, but you're aware of what we want and need from you.
Highland Park's undefeated record may be challenged in this upcoming week as they go on to play 4 games in 6 days and face their first real test of the season, squaring off on Monday in a regionally televised game in Kansas City's renowned Sprint Center for the Martin Luther King Classic against a top Missouri contender, Grandview High School, followed up with the annual Topeka Invitational Tournament on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. For senior Eddie Hunt, the challenges of next week's games are not the only obstacles on the 6'7" forward's mind. Eddie's home life has forced him to find another place to live, and after talking with the coaching staff, he has decided to move in with Coach Darding.
Earlier in my life, me and my mom's relationship it was really close. It was really close because I didn't know what other parents could provide for their child, so I thought she was just the best mom. And like as I got older, I knew that she wasn't the best, and like we fell apart for a little while. And now I'm trying to get back close with her, but she likes to drink a lot, so that has affected me and my brothers. That's the reason why my brothers and my sisters have left, and yeah, it's just really isn't a good relationship right now. But we're trying to get back onto the right path for a parent and son relationship. Alright, well, I sleep. My room's dirty, but I sleep over here. My brother used to sleep over there, but he's gone, so I just put all my clothes over there. My decision to move with my coaches, like for a better, stable home, to like have stuff to rely on, like food or coming home to basically food, what I really need. Just having someone to fall back on, and I think that's like a good decision for me at this point in my life. Box full of college letters and Bible, gotta keep that.
Hunt worries about how his mother will feel.
She's gonna be a little bit sad, but she knows it's for the better, and she tells me like I can make my own decisions, and if I feel like that's the best decision, then that's what I should do. But she probably feels a little bit bad because it probably makes her feel like that she can't provide, but other people could.
As long as they feel that you are interested in their kid and you love their kid and what you're doing is in the best interest of their child, they'll turn them over and let you do what you need to do to make them a productive person. So I think they're wonderful for the most part, wonderful people that truly do love their kids and sometimes aren't able for different reasons to raise them the way they'd like to or need to, but it's not lack of effort or lack of love.
Sprint Center, Kansas City, 14th and Grand on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The arena is transformed for the second consecutive year into an all-day site for high school basketball, and this will be a good one as Topeka Highland Park faces Grandview.
There's always players that don't play very good, but now the game's on the line and all of a sudden they get it done. There's players that play great, and then when it has to get done, they're hiding under that chair somewhere. So get it done when it has to get done. It's whatever it is at that time. Get it done. It will win. With that, I would like to introduce you and have him speak because he's going to talk to you about some good stuff. Mr. Bud Stallworth.
Thanks, Coach. Everybody wants to be a great athlete if they ever played sports. Less than 1% ever get a chance to play at the collegiate level, and less than that at the professional level. Just not happening. And I'm gonna bring Dr. King into this because he always spoke about education. You can do anything that you want to do. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what ethnic background you come from. If you are educated and use your mind to become something, there's no rule in the world that says you can't be anything you want to be.
This, next to the state championship, is the most fun, enjoyable, most look forward to, and most memorable game you'll ever play, so make it that way.
These teams have never faced each other, whether it be any postseason or any tournament games whatsoever. And Highland Park Scots are coached by Kenny Darding. This is his last season coaching at Highland Park. Many state championships. And this basketball team is special to him because it's the last one he's going to have. They're looking to go unbeaten all year.
With a ranked team from the state of Missouri facing the team that has traveled the furthest to get here, Topeka's Highland Park running Scots, undefeated, ranked #1. in Class 5A in the state of Kansas, and the Scots will go running to work. Scots, here's a long shot, and there's McMurray. Boy, he's got a nice little jumper, doesn't he?
Northern Colorado would love to have him play there. He hasn't made a decision yet, although he has qualified academically.
Rebound for Taylor, shot by, missed by Shafi Carr. Grandview quickly back.
I thought we were going to outrun them. I thought we were going to outrun them. He can't finish anything. Got no heart.
Boy, Highland Park has missed a lot of easy ones inside so far. Here's a long shot from Taylor, and Taylor lines it up and nails the three-pointer. Taylor, long shot. Look at Taylor ring up another shot.
That's a shooter that's just hit back-to-back threes.
Ball knock, listen to this. There's a stuff in the jam. What a play by the Bulldogs.
That's a good start. That's a real good start.
Watch it down below. What a slam. Just cuddle on the baseline.
Grandview continues its streak.
Get Damian out. He's away. Found out he can't play, and those other two can't play. Forget them.
Double-digit lead at the end of the first quarter. It's 20-10 Grandview.
Right now, they've just knocked you on your ass. You're scared to death. They've knocked you down. We've done nothing right. Let's go win full court. Let's go 22 back to a 2.
Highland Park now will set its offense. Eddie Hunt comes out trying to make a move on.
Look at him go.
And there it is, Eddie Hunt on the follow-up.
He's the only one that came to play. He ain't not afraid.
Highland Park trailing by 9. Inside, 6 minutes. Long shot from Jamal McMurray. And McMurray hits a long three.
Good.
Meanwhile, on the other end, Highland Park comes over the steal. And on the other end, Jamal McMurray on the dunk. Give McMurray the dunk. And the Scots are back in it. And Highland Park is fired up. And Highland Park, who is down double digits at the end of the first quarter, is back within 2 at 26-24. In the corner, McMurray for 3. Shot good. Nothing but the bottom of the net as he buries it. Highland Park comes with a rebound. Inside, 16 seconds to go. Back quickly, and Duncan, Shafi Carr brings it down for the Scots, and Highland Park's up 4, 34-30. And the halftime has arrived.
Rebound, no. Don't foul, no. You all of a sudden, you're going to be the hero. You're on TV, so you're going to be the hero. Nothing changes. Nothing changes because you're on TV.
Shot up, off the glass, no good, strong. But there's Hunt for the follow-up. Shots up and good.
Eddie came to play the way he can. The rest of them want to be on TV.
Hey. Highland Park can run if they want it. Wide open, and he misses a slam. Follow-up, no good. King Cannon had it for a moment.
Hey, be a hero! Be a hero!
Taylor, spin move, fadeaway 18-footer. What a shot! Taylor, long three, hits it. Taylor has gotten the message, and Taylor is hitting the shots. It's a one-point ball game at 43-42. It's McMurray in Highland Park, 8.6 seconds to try to get a shot off. Here's McMurray. McMurray to the lane, puts it up, high off the glass, shot no good. Follow-up shot is up and good, though. Highland Park is going to win it by 15. Highland Park, who once trailed this ball game by 12, wins it by 15.
Talk about the experience of playing in the Sprint Center.
Coach has said not everyone gets the opportunity to play here. And for us to be here as our senior years, it was a blessing for us.
Things that jumped out at me immediately. Jamal just loaded us up and carried us. Eddie, sitting in here last one out, I could see he was playing. You know, Shafi's been a dominant player all year. Did not have his best game of his life tonight, but played against a pretty good, pretty big kid. So somebody else steps up, we get the win. Great game now. We've celebrated, we've done our thing in the Sprint Center. We're going to have a great McDonald's burger. We're going to go home, and we got Wichita Northwest Thursday night in the TIT. This one's done, we're on to the TIT. Good job. Family.
Hey, well, we 9-0. We got to keep going. State championship.
We got a story to tell when we get on. Played in the sprints. All right, this is where I sleep. Watch a little bit of film on the little TV. My bed, closet. Still gotta put up some clothes. It felt comfortable to me. Like I moved in because I knew this family for a while, so I just felt comfortable. Like they were my family and they accepted me as their son. So it's different because like I know I could come home and get something to eat or have a good night's sleep and like wake up and go to school on time and be at school and yeah, just be on top of all my stuff. It's a lot chill here. Like everyone in the neighborhood knows each other and they have successful lives. And when we had that snow, a lot of snow, they let me shovel their driveway and they paid me. I shoveled like 6 driveways, made like $300. Or me and Carrie shoveled. Coach D was even out there shoveling some snow. So they're great people. I love them. So it's good. It's a lot different from Ripley. No violence here. So.
You know, we just took a look at it. Okay, he's come so far. He's on the right track. He wants to succeed, not just in basketball, but in life. Where's the best spot for him right now? He hasn't given up. He's got that heart of a tiger. I mean, he's fighting it. He's fighting it in life. He's determined that he can win by going to college rather than getting a gun and shooting somebody. And Eddie's going to make it. He's going to make it. He's got what it takes.
I think, in particular with Eddie, that I learn every day to value some things that I took for granted, a whole bunch of things I took for granted. Things, you know, Carrie and I have had that discussion, things that we didn't even consider. They were just an absolute, you know, I've never had to worry about food to eat or a place to sleep. It's never been anything that was even on the list. And so looking at someone that deals with that and watching how strong and how well they deal with that, you know, it's a gift to us.
There's so many kids at Highland Park that we could have 250 kids living here, deserve to live here, you want to live here. We've always been a little hesitant about taking them into our home because what are you saying to the 2 or the 5 or the 250 that you're not taking in?
I wish I had a hotel big enough and there wouldn't be one large enough because sometimes you find out things you wish you didn't know. You know, so if you don't know, you don't have to deal with it, you don't have to act on it. You know, then when you do know, it's different. And I think with Eddie, what a wonderful young man. And his resilience and who he is truly amazing.
You got to do what is most urgent. And as a young man that had no options, no choices, and you know, when somebody's flopping and beating the water and hollering help, you're going to throw them a rope.
This is my 4th year over here at Highland Park. When I coach, I bring with me the weight of the guys and the community and the players and the school that I represent right now, but you also bring in the weight and the pride and the tradition of the people who came before you. There's just so much tradition, so much heritage that's tied to this basketball program, this school, and this community. So I think that's one thing that really separates Highland Park.
You know, tradition never graduates, and I think from one brother to another, from one family member to another, from one coach to another, Highland Park basketball extends itself from the floor to the next generation. And I think it's a program that's developed into a culture where the level of excellence is so high that when you step on the floor at Highland Park, even for a practice, you have to bring your best game, and that best game translates to a level that many basketball programs across the state of Kansas are never able to reach.
Well, one thing you're going to see when you first walk in, you're going to see about 25, 30, even more. Sometimes it could be more kids from all ages, from 5th, 6th grade on up to 12th grade. And you see a lot of kids are excited about getting better about basketball. They're listening, they're getting taught the game how it's supposed to be.
I've been working out with Coach D since the 6th grade summer. Working out with guys like Devontae Grant, Adrian Herrera, Rico Richardson, guys like that who played in the past. Had me working out with them, and them guys guarding me was terrible for me back then, but it got me way better.
The seniors, they started everything. From me, Buster and Antoine used to beat my butt in practice every single day, brought it to me every single day, but all that did was teach me how to do the same thing.
Coach D always talks to me about the past point guards, Lamont, Cannon, and what they all have. And really, skills is one, but what they had inside, like their heart, you couldn't stop them. If they wanted to take you, they would take you. And to me, when he says that to me, I just think I can basically do anything.
That's what kind of tradition Highland Park was about. It was about teaching that next man how to take that next step and how to continue each and every year.
And actually on the senior dinner we watched the 2009 championship game, and I was at that game actually in the student section, me being in 6th grade or something. And I remember Cannon taking his man, dishing it off the mic and putting it in for the game-winning score.
Highland Park, 3 state championships in a row. Highland Park, 54.
And that, to me, that just means a lot when he talks about comparing me to Lamont or Cannon, and that just makes me strive for more greatness.
Coach Darding taught you from day one how to make every single person around you better, and how to continue that tradition. So just fighting and being tough, that's where we learned it from, and we carried it on from every single year that I was there.
Highland Park has reached that elite status from year to year, and what makes it successful is that the formula is passed on from class to class, and that tradition never graduates and often ends in a championship.
The Scots have advanced to the Topeka Invitational Tournament Championship game after posting wins in their first 2 outings. Now they match up against the Lawrence Lions, a team they have previously beat in a come-from-behind victory during the championship game of an early season tournament.
There's standard basics in life, there's standard basics in basketball. You take it to them, you attack them, you're going to be successful in basketball. Just as you attack life, you're going to be successful in life. Nobody's going to be successful every moment of life, but you're going to be successful more than unsuccessful when you do things right and you do them hard. So tournaments, as I said, people are tired. There goes a loose ball. Man, I should get on the floor after that, but dang it, I'm tired. So are they. The one that gets on that floor is going to be the one that wins. I'm not sure this team can shift from second to third gear. Jamal at the 2 is a scoring machine. He's averaging 20. If we're better than a normal team, he has to be able to do that.
Put the ball on the hoop, fellas.
Cam. Get to the rim! Get to the rim! How did he get on the floor? How did he get on the floor? Gotta have something besides turnovers. Go get it! Cam, get in the middle! That's your fault, Cam! You can't even get in the middle! You're a senior leader, and you can't get in the middle! If Shafi comes off the block, do not throw it to him. He wants to be a 2 guard. He wants to catch 18-year-old for 91. We don't get it to Jamal, who's the only person in this building made a shot yet. Cam can't get in the middle of a press, so we about give up a 5-point turnaround in the last 12 seconds because we don't know what to do against the press. And then Danny, he fouls soft. Excuse me, go ahead and make 2 free throws. When you're assigned to nobodies, that means you can help somebody. You got to send messages. They're not ready. You got to be ready. You're seniors, you make sure that's plain. Look high low! Look high low! Stay down, Eddie! Hey! I'm shoving the next time we're not in high low. The next time you're sitting high low. What is it? More powder. Dumb drumline threw powder on the floor. Asked to have a delayed halftime so we can throw powder on the floor. Take care of the basketball. Get it where it belongs. A good shot every time. A good shot every time. That's what a player does. Makes a clown out of somebody. All of a sudden they're feeling great and we're scared. We got our prima donnas playing against their men now. They're coming at you, getting it. We're throwing up quick, bad shots. You better pick it the hell up mentally and get tougher, because they know they got you on the rock. Lose! Go on and lose! Timeout! 4 games to score. That's 2 guards out, 2 in the corner, and Shafi at the free throw line. You noticing who's finishing and who ain't? They're finishing everything, game on the line. We're finishing nothing. We're finishing nothing because they're getting to the rim. They got to get good players stopped. Eddie, you want to sit down and rest? If you want to be down there, you can be rest. You want out? Come
on. One stop right now. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Come on, get stopped. Come on, Ken. Come on, y'all.
We got no toughness. They all want out right now. Get ready to help! Jaleel!
Scots foul number 5, Eddie Hunt. That is his 5th personal foul.
You just settled the game with a lousy call. Okay, I'm going to send him through into the wing. You sprint up, Shafi. You catch, you go to Jamal. We want to hit this on the run or this and catch it. You got to fight for it. Throw it to 22. Or to Jamal. You got time, 3 seconds, you got time. Great job, great game, great game, great game.
And now we'd like to present the run medals to the Highland Park Scots and head coach Ken Darding. The 53rd annual Topeka Invitational Champions, the Lawrence Lions.
Best team sitting here, the toughest by far is sitting right over there. And we missed 10 layups. We were 7 of 17 from the free throw line at one time. That's a YMCA girls level. Nobody, not one person, and I've been warning you about this forever. No state champion team has ever shot free throws like you guys shoot them. Never. No state champion team is going to miss layups like you miss and turn it over like you turn it over. It can't happen. You're going to win a lot of games because you're going to be better. But the things that we got beat on tonight, what's worrisome is you don't go home and fix. It's down here. It's down here. In 2005, I made a statement to the coaches. We were 11-0 in 2005. We lost our first game in the TIT. 2 weeks before that game, I told our coaching staff, if this team loses, they'll go in the tank like a big dog because they got character issues. Well, guess what? We lost 5 of our last 7 and didn't make it to the state for the first time in 7 years. You better think about it, or you get a repeat 2005. The good news is, unlike last year in the state finals when we did the same thing, we do have tomorrow. If you're sitting here in the state finals, play the same way in the state finals, you'll be crying a lifetime because you will lose. I've always felt that there's so many more things in life much more important and more tragic than a loss in basketball. But through basketball, you teach work ethic, and you teach commitment, and you teach teamwork, and you teach working in an adversary situation, maybe with an adversary boss or an adversary cohort. My goal for every player is to make them understand that there's going to be hurdles, there's going to be obstacles. If you quit the first time you get knocked down, then you're probably not going to be successful. But I think if you gain that attitude, then life just becomes natural. Everything you try, you got that message in the back of your mind, I can do this. And you do understand that it ain't going to be easy. If it was easy, probably wouldn't be worth doing. I just want to build the persistence and the toughness in athletes that they can succeed at whatever they want to succeed at. But we have got to get some transition point. And if nothing else, we've got to get the court spread and get some attack in transition. Race, get it deep, go on. There we go. Board it. Good. Next group.
Over the last couple of years, the last 4 years, we haven't lost that often. And I want our guys to realize is that, yeah, we lost, yeah, but you are going to lose, And right now it's a basketball game. 5 years now it could be a job, you know what I'm saying? It could be a family member, you know what I'm saying? So the loss is one thing, but it's how you come out of it and what's going to be happening on the back end of it. That's the biggest thing, I think.
Go somewhere, cut through, go anywhere. He's standing and waiting on you.
It's tough at times, but Coach Darding, some may feel that he yells at me the most, and he does really, but he's doing that for a reason. He's trying to get me prepared for life. Sometimes I take it personal when he yells at me, but then again, I know it's gonna help me somewhere down the road. In the real world, I'm gonna have a boss that's gonna be telling me things I really don't want to hear, so I'm gonna have to do it. So that really teaches me how to, listen and be able to, adapt to it. He's trying to tell me.
I plays for Eddie, then Shafi.
In my life, Coach D's impacted me a lot of ways. He's taught me how to be a young man. He's taught me to be respectful. He's taught me how to play the game right. And a lot of things that he's been telling me and I've been using are going to pay off at the next level.
He's just a great coach. He's hard on you. He doesn't let up. You're never going to get easy with Coach D. He doesn't let nothing slip by. He's taught me how to be tough too and be mentally tough. And Coach D's a winner. He's so mentally tough, and he has so much heart as a coach. He wants us to win more than anything. He wants us to be successful also. Him being in my presence and just watching him and listening to what he speaks on gets me better mentally every day.
teaching you how to be a man. Nothing was given to any kid that's ever walked through Highland Park's gym doors. Nothing. He would break you down, but he would build you back up stronger than what you were before.
Hold it. Whites go man, reds go smash. Right now, I'm checking. He's got him right there. Can't get it. I can kick it over your head. Abdul, you take that ball up, what's the worst thing can happen? Do you die from getting your shot blocked? No. And 4 out of 5 times they're going to call a foul, whether he fouls or not. If you attack him, the referee's going to call a foul. Let's get a good job today.
Hey, it takes you like this every day. Keep this up. Film me on me, film me on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Family. Let's see. Because we've got Emporia Junction away, then Emporia here, then we've got Hayden, Seaman, and Rural away. And then we've got Manhattan, Topeka High, and Topeka West home. touches, 2 turnovers.
Hey, Leo, you got 24.
Daniel! Timeout, timeout. 30, get him.
Timeout call by HB.
The JV's going to finish this game in just a minute. Watch and see. I'm talking about the bottom 5 is going to finish this thing. Lose or win. Because we're not playing a f***ing lick. It's the time of year there is no off nights. There is no off nights. You're going to stay home. If this was the finals of the sub-state, we are crying right now. We're crying because we're staying home. There is no more off nights. No team can stop us from winning the 5A state. We're the best. So if we don't do it, this team is who's going to do it. This team is going to keep us from going. No other team is. Next Tuesday and Friday we play, and after that, first time you lose, you're done. And the first time you play like this, you will lose. You will lose. So think about it. It's step up time. Boys' game's over, men's games begin. That's too much pressure for you, fake an injury.
Every year, the city of Topeka plays host to the Class 5A Kansas State Basketball Tournament inside the Kansas Expo Center, a place where the Scots hope to be and where Darding has led them to 4 state titles.
As far as the 13-14 team, it's very thin, but they start with 2 of the absolute best players in the state, Jamal McMurray and Shafi Carr, and that's a very good start. And they can't have a bad game by the 2 stars. In other words, Shafi and Jamal are going to have to give them about 40 points a game. And if they do that, they got a chance to go as far, to all the way. But everything's going to have to go right this year for that to happen.
I'm not sure this team understands that or has grasped that, again, for lack of a better term, whatever it takes mentality. We won 17 of 18 games, so, but I haven't seen that characteristic yet. And you know and I know before this thing's over, there's going to be a game where everything goes wrong, and somebody's going to have to do something to turn that around. And so as the playoffs come around, it gets tougher and tougher. And I've made them aware that you can't not show up every night, or they'll be in trouble. Kush and I went to college at Emporia State together, been best friends since early 70s anyway.
I think Mr. Cushenberry was the start and the face of the school. I don't think there's any question about that. A wonderful human being who cared about kids.
I was principal there for 16 years at the high school. When I first got the principalship at Highland Park High School, the district had low expectations. The only thing they told me was to get the school under control. And having grown up in the Highland Park area and having attended Highland Park High School, I wanted a lot more than that.
What we tried to do was get our kids, our players, out in the community.
We always talked a lot, went out to dinner a lot, had lunch together, and we always were continually talking about individual players and what we could do to improve their lives away from the court, what we could do to help them become better students, what we could do to help them get placed in a college after high school. And so a system was put in place that managed to hold students.
It didn't just start and end with the team. The team was an extension of Mr. Cushenberry, Coach Darding. They certainly took his personality. He's a defensive coach first, and I think the team bought into that, and the community bought into the way these young men represented.
The school was a place that the community could hang its pride hat on. And so as went the school, that community was proud. When we had our parades, people would line the streets to see the Scots, to hear the bagpipers, to hear the band, to see what was going on. And so the school became a sort of beacon of light, if you will, a centerpiece of pride in a community that was economically and socially depressed.
Coach D requires no facial hair, keep our haircuts low, and our grades have to stay up. Without those, he won't play us regardless of who we are. He wants us to stay committed as one instead of being the individual. And Highland Park, we're all about team, so we really don't mind cutting our hair or anything.
He instilled discipline. He let us know that it was all about work and not about show.
For most high schools, senior night usually represents the last time that a player will step onto their home court in a regular season game. But for Highland Park this year, it also represents the end of a coaching era and the beginning of a Highland Park community without Coach D.
Every year, a group of kids leave you because they graduate, and that's very hard. You hate that. You're so excited to watch them go fly and become something in life, but yet it's a sad time. Kids that have given so much to you and worked so hard for you are leaving. Well, this time it's just reversed. I mean, it hasn't set in yet. People ask what I'm going to do, and it's like, I don't know. I don't have plans. Right now, it's full steam ahead. Coach basketball, play basketball. Stay in the season.
tradition we have here at Highland Park is like no other. Just growing up in this environment just makes you feel loved and like you belong here.
I mean, playing in the gym is crazy because you know so many great players have come out of here. It's really something special to come in and step onto that. And with the slide and everything, I mean, we've been doing the slide forever. So it's just really fun to still have them old throwback tradition.
We didn't design it. It's been at this tradition for years, ever since I can remember, probably before that. So, and that's just really special. We do the same thing pre-game, every game.
Let's go, baby. Family, how many family? 3, 1, 2, 3. Family. Go, Abel. Go, Sean.
In the gym, they named the court after a Mr. Ken Darding. This evening's win marks 500 career wins for Coach Ken Darding. So we've got some banners there for you, Coach, and we just want to say that we will miss you.
Gotta go Shawnee Heights again, huh? Gotta play them again.
Yeah. Well, they'll be here.
After winning their first game in postseason play, Highland Park will now match up against Topeka Shawnee Heights in the sub-state finals for the right to play in the state tournament. The Scots have beaten Shawnee Heights twice earlier this year in 2 close games. Highland Park and Shawnee Heights are not typically rival high schools, but after multiple players transferred out of Highland Park to play down the road at Shawnee Heights a few seasons ago, controversy began, making this winner-take-all game that much more personal.
You know, we've got a few guys that have played at Highland Park, and I think, you know, it makes it more intriguing because of, you know, they've played there and played for Coach, and you know, now they're here at Shawnee Heights. So they all know each other, and some are even, you know, related. But it'll be fun for both sides, and it just makes it a little more extra intense, I bet.
When a group like that transfers and for the reasons of self-gain, meaning more points, more shots, then it's very disappointing because that's everything that, you know, I don't stand for. That's everything that I believe is wrong with basketball, wrong with sport. And so I look at it more as a disappointment. And as I said, it might be my fault, whoever's fault it is. Some kids made bad decisions and went elsewhere, and it's costing them and potentially the kids that are still at Highland Park some of the greatest experiences of their life. Before we played Manhattan High, a young man that I coached in 1984-85 on the JV team at Manhattan High. I had to go back and get my master's because I was going to coach at K-State the next year. So while I was getting my master's, they asked me to coach the JV team at Manhattan High. This young man was on it. There's 10 kids on it. He's the only one that played the next year. The other 9 were cut. So we weren't very talented. And Eric Barton, who wrote this article, right before we played Manhattan High, he wrote an article, Darding made a big impression in one perfect season at Manhattan High. Says, we weren't anything special. We all knew that. The empty gyms we usually played in, but for a handful of parents reminded us of that. We didn't know Coach Darding when he started, just that he had come from Silver Lake and liked to tell stories. He had some pet sayings or phases, excerpts that we didn't feel like pets. We, not me, was something he used to say all the time. Imagine that, 36 years ago. We weren't better than the varsity. We just helped each other more. What we knew was not more sophisticated, it was simpler. We just performed it better. Third, we loved playing the game together. We, not me, was more than just a saying. It was more of an oath among the players. By the end of our undefeated season, we were all far from perfect players, but we had learned a whole lot about teamwork, trust, effort, accountability, and life in general. Now, the reason I read that was, that's what you got ahead of you. It's now time for you to go out, and you know me, I'm the purist. If you go out and you get out-fought tonight, you should lose. If you go out and you execute and you play hard and some team just plays great and beats you, you'll get over that someday. So it's time to go. All right?
Family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Family. Right now is when you bury him. Keep attacking. Time out. Get up 12, and we're going to be cute. So now it's a ball game again. You should have buried them when you get them down. That's what good teams do. Not let them back. You bury them. You better start giving us something tonight. You got 3 turnovers and no stops on the defensive end. Go! Go! Our guards are horse. 3 turnovers, 3 turnovers. That's 6 turnovers between the two of you, and our guards ain't been back yet. We talked about how we score on them. Tez is running it right up your Tez is beating our guards we're chasing Tez on every play. On the shot, I want to see 2 of you standing in that paint. And pick for Jamal. Get Jamal some shots. Timeout. Good call. 30 seconds. On their block. We're at 1-4. You're going to post, and we're going to throw it there. And Cutter, you're going to cut through and pick. And somebody set a pick for him. Not out here. They're going to let you play high because you can't score out there. Get on the block where you can score. Cutter, cut through and get off the pick. Everybody pick for everybody. Let him go where he wants. Good. Look. Here, come on. There you go. It's a good skip, Jaleel. Good skip. By yourself. You're so scared. Can't make a lay. This team's so weak-hearted.
guard you guys anymore. We guarding the scores, but you can't. They're rebounding. You little guys are rebounding. Don't let him catch if you can't guard him. Keep him from catching. Now you got to get tough for 6 minutes. You got to get tough. All right. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Once a JV, always a JV. Oh my God. Everybody wants to leave, but we're all right. We keep winning.
Coach Darding, the lead is basketball.
1,000 point club. Now, I told him before the game, and I'd say it now, I'll say it before the state or before we lose the next time. When and if we lose, I get a choice to choose one team, I'm taking this one. He said, well, them kids play so tough. I said, you don't play at Highland Park unless you play tough. You transfer if you don't play tough. That's what I told him. That's what I told him. I love you. You ain't gonna make it, my man. You may just have to make it next week, because I'm only gonna be here 3 more days. Oh, shit. How are you doing? Yeah.
When you see Coach Darding, there may be some coaches that know a little more basketball. I doubt it, but there may be somewhere. But there won't be anywhere that will outwork Coach Darding. He literally commits his all. And as a result of that, I can't ever remember a Highland Park team under his tutelage that was unprepared in a game.
He's just so different, man, and he just demands so much out of the boys, and not so much to a point that is unrealistic, but he sets goals to a point that causes kids to rise and raise their level. And not just your basketball level, you got to raise your mental level. You know, you got to raise your desire and your dedication, and you've just got to be willing to be pushed.
Coach Darding and the staff really cared about them as people, and we did. Not just basketball players. We wanted to see them become young men and be successful and raise their bars to want to do something more than maybe they thought they were capable of to start with.
I was fortunate to be under him for 10 years and 4 state championships and second place so many times, and I got to see the ups and the downs, in every side of Coach Darding. And the thing is, what hurt Coach Darding the most, it's not about second place with Coach Darding. It's about the kids.
Antoine Harness, after that game, said, Coach D, Coach B, you saved my life. And I still remember Coach Darding saying, Antoine, I don't worry about you now. I worry about you in the future. And it was a couple years later that he was shot in the alley and killed. And we helped a lot of kids, but the ones that stick with you are the ones that you didn't reach.
Anytime you find an area that's depressed or people are losing to some degree a little hope in life, to find something like a basketball program, it gives hope. It's a shining light. And that's what Highland Park basketball is to that school, to the community, and really a source of pride to the city.
My motivation to get better is my life situation, and I want to play college basketball at the highest level, just like everyone else.
I want to go to college and play for a Division I school. That's always been my dream, to play Division I.
My goals after high school are to play college basketball, and my other goals are to get a degree, because I just don't want to play basketball for the rest of my life. I mean, I feel like I can do something else and do more with my life than that.
Everybody this week has asked me, because it's my last one, you know, do you want this one? Where's go? Every single state championship I've won, whether it's at Highland Park or elsewhere, I want it just as bad as the other one, because it's a different group of kids. I want this for you. 5 years ago, it was a different group of kids. 2 years before that, it was a different group of kids. So every state championship is fun and just as important as the other one. This one to me means no more than the rest of them, means no less than the rest of them. Because I'm good. I'm fine. What I want is for you all to experience it. For you all to have that. So just make sure you're willing to fight for it.
The Kansas Expo Center for the final game of the first day of the boys State 5A basketball tournament. We've got Kansas City, Washington, the number 6 seed, battling number 3 seed, Highland Park, coached by Kenny Darding. It's up and we're underway, and Highland Park's going to get the tip to Shafi Clark. And here's a steal. Highland Park with a steal and the layup, and count the bucket. Cameron Clark! Oh, Clark, this is the motor of that basketball team. Into the point guard, Cameron Clark. Clark all the way. Oh, Clark! Alley-oop to Shafi Carr. Well, the 23-point win tonight by the Highland Park Scots, and that sets up a matchup at 8:15 Friday night, as the Highland Park Scots will take on unbeaten Hayes.
We're right where we set out to be, right where we talked about being, right where we dreamed to be, right where we went to work and boot camp to be. We're there.
Oh my, we haven't seen Highland Park tested like this since the Lawrence game in the Topeka Invitational Tournament, and they lost that one. Maybe shoot it with enough time for a tip in. Here's Jamal McMurray. McMurray to Shafi Carr from 16. Got it! Here's the big free throw right here for Cam Clark. Probably playing a little bit of college baseball somewhere, but we'll have memories of this one. Hit both free throws, and Highland Park wins. Scots 48, Hayes 40. Scots to the state championship game tomorrow night at 6:15, and the Highland Park Scots in 5A trying to send Kenny Darding out in style.
Looking forward to you talking about it be the exact same type of game tomorrow. You know, we're going to get in the trenches and black each other's eyes and bloody noses and see who crawls out at the end. First and foremost, you know, you need to know this. Biggest game of your life, no question. As I look, I see y'all focused, I see you ready, I feel good, but it can't be too much. You can't make it too much. As kids, I've told you 100 times, you're winners. You know, you're beautiful people. And whatever happens in the next 32 minutes does not change that. And I promise you guys, I promise you, and we're going to be leaving that court with the same class. No, we're not celebrating when we win, and we're not crying when we lose until we get in here anyway. We're not chipping at the referees. We're not chipping at other team because we're class. We always play with class. We're going to play with class. Okay? Any questions? Let's go have a ball.
For the Lansing Lions, coached by Ron Briggs, they have not tasted defeat yet this year. They're 24-0. Should be a great matchup tonight between these two teams. They played 48 games, and there's been one loss. They're not very deep. Neither team plays more than 7. There's a great crowd here from Lansing, and we've got a great crowd over here from Highland Park as well.
All right, Chop, ain't nothing to it but to do it, buddy. Let's run horns into high-low to start. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Come.
Tip is on its way. It's controlled by Highland Park, and the Scots have it to McMurray. The Lansing Lions and the Highland Park Scots, all the marbles on this one. Khalil Bailey, a 6'2 senior. His vertical is somewhere in the upper 30s. McMurray with the basketball. Up front to Eddie Hunt. Right side, Cam Clark for 3. Oh, baby! Cam Clark with a 3-ball. And the Scots have their biggest lead. They're up by 4. It's not easy in the paint against Lansing. No, they're 24-0 for a reason.
We're getting killed by guards. Snyder and Gibson both has got more rebounds than all of us put together. Keep the ball out of the middle.
Boy, Joe Snyder's done a good job on McMurray. That's a great matchup between two really good basketball players.
We just quit picking for you if you're not going to use it. You're never open. What in the world? Almighty.
And right now it's a 7-2 run going by Lansing.
Wide open is Osby for 3. Got it. Osby with 3. Score now. Laura, Lansing Lions 18. Highland Park Scots 17.
Max! Eddie! Bailey! Coming! Bailey just eating arm postmen alive. Wow! Right now you're blown out if we're not holding them to, should be 18. Give up a dunk at the gun to make it 20-17. And you're not going to win state championship games missing gimmies and free. You can't. You can't win. This is the cream of the crop. This is the best teams in the state. You got to make elementary plays. You got to get better offensively. It's our game. It's right where I'd want it if I could pick it.
6-point lead for the Lansing Lions over the Highland Park Scots.
Vegas! Vegas!
Here's it. Shot by Shoppy Carr, 8 feet away, rimmed out. Bailey, strong move by Bailey up and in. Nobody came over to get Bailey. Gives it over to Shoppy Carr, who can't handle the pass. It's out of bounds. Here's Cam Clark driving down. Wide open is a baseline shot for 3. Back iron, no good again. And Lansing Lions are limiting Highland Park to 1 shot. Scots need to score on a couple of possessions here to get this manageable as you go into the 4th quarter of play.
Look at Daniel. He don't know where his man's at.
Oh, man. And all of a sudden, it's a 13-point lead.
Look at the fight. Oh, we scared now, ain't we? Now we went man. It was our zone fault. We didn't know who to cover. You know now. Blowout time. Lay down and get blown out. Didn't come. Still don't have the heart.
Highland Park is out of sync, to say the very least. First time this year they found themselves down by 16 points.
They're not stalling. This is called efficient offense. You got the game won, you just run offense until you get that. That's a team right there. That's a team right there. Throw it backwards.
Lansing Lions are going to finish the season a perfect 25-0. Highland Park's going to end their year 23-2 and a second place trophy in the Class 5A boys tournament. The last game that Kenny Darding will coach for the Highland Park Scots in his illustrious career as a head coach. He's made a lot of young guys into men.
Oh, by all means.
You know, he had some players come through there that could have gone one way or the other, and Darding has led them down the right path rather than the long path, mostly as a father figure. If people knew what Kenny Darding does behind the scenes with some of his basketball players, you would simply be amazed.
42 years, that's the worst we've ever been dominated in my career. And if we play them 10 times, they're going to beat us like that 10 times. I'm tickled, I'm pleased, and I'm proud to be a coach of this group. And if I was sitting here and we're throwing water on each other and celebrating, I'd be saying the same. Remember what I said, I'm done with this business, but this is mini life. This is mini life. Today's game can help you do a lot of things, not only in your future in basketball, but in life. So I think they will name the new coach in the next 2 weeks. So you'll be able to have time before school's out to meet with him and get lined out for whatever you're going to do in the summer. So any questions? Anybody, any seniors want to say anything? Go ahead, Shal.
I mean, I know we didn't win. I know that, but I love y'all.
That's right.
Y'all my brothers. It's been a great 4 years with y'all, honestly. I love
I feel the same.
We'll break this down.
Yeah.
Shoes is fuel. Let's go. Family on me. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family.
Two things I'll be involved in. I'm going to be involved with basketball. I'm going to be involved with kids. I'm going to, of course, walk my dog, which I always do. I want to get back to playing golf on a regular basis. As far as I'm concerned, I'm retired. But I would never say that something couldn't intrigue me to, go back and coach somewhere.
And just one more for the camera's sake, it's great to be a Scot. Gotta get it.
You know, always in parting, the one thing that I can say, it's always great to be a Scot.
It's like Michael Jordan. There's no second Michael Jordan. There will never be another Coach Darding. You can compare who you want, but there's never going to be another Coach Darding that did what he did and that's done what he's done.
The great thing about him is his players can come ask him for anything. I've heard of opposing players coming asking him for stuff too. They're not getting the college scholarship offers they want. They're having trouble getting into a certain prep school or a certain college. He'll pick up the phone and do that. And that's what I think impresses me the most about him. He's a player's coach, even sometimes not even for his own players.
It's been a blessing from God to be able to have this opportunity to be over here with Coach. For the kids' sake, you know, and it's not just Coach Darding, but he's opened up the door for me to have connections with people that I never ever in my life imagined that I was going to have a connection with, and I believe it's been God-given, and I just wish him the best going forward, and just thank you to the Highland Park community, the kids, the team, and just anybody connected with the program over these years. It's been a memorable time.
And I think that the best thing about what Highland Park does is that they're really ambassadors for the game of high school basketball across the state of Kansas. And nationwide, people will look to Highland Park and think, that's exactly the way we should play the game. If we can play that game like those kids in Topeka can play at Highland Park High School, then we've got really something special. And that's what Highland Park should be most proud of.
There's a lot of kids that we remember that we didn't reach. But what we remind ourselves of, think of the number that we did and the successes that they've had. Wow, do we take a lot of pride in that. And it's something that over a lifetime you can, as coaches, we can be proud of the fact that these young men succeeded in life, which is what it was really all about.